Hi, welcome to Flosstube #1, Stitching and Orts in the Desert. My name is Karen and I'm really excited to be here, but I'm also a little nervous, but welcome to my channel. So, Stitching and Orts in the Desert, what's that all about, right? Well, as you heard, my name is Karen, and for those of us who are Karens, we get a little tired of our name being used, so who wants to watch a video about Karen? Or from a Karen. So I thought, hey, maybe more people will come if I put Stitching and Orts in the Desert. So the desert part of it is because I live in Phoenix, Arizona. So it is the middle of the desert and it is really hot right now. So I will be bringing you all of my stitching and orts from the desert. So the orts. So as you know, in this cross tube land, we have so many acronyms and names for things that no one knows what they are. But orts are I've heard it's called a couple of different things. Odd random threads, old random threads. It's those little leftover pieces that you have when you've done stitching with that thread, or you're at the end and you have that little piece thread. But I thought, hey, how about, for me, it's going to be odd random thoughts or old random thoughts. I'm not a young spring chicken, so they could be old thoughts, but usually they're just odd thoughts that I have. So I'm going to talk mainly about stitching, but I will have some odd random thoughts that I throw in there. And so that's it. Stitching is cross stitching. This is Flosstube #1, and you will see things about cross stitch for me. I did teach myself to knit a little bit, but I would not call myself a knitter. I can't seem to get past 10 rows without making a mistake, and then I don't know how to fix it. So I do not call myself a knitter at all. I think I'm gonna have to break down and take an in-person class. But I think I've learned some bad habits and I don't know that I'm gonna wanna unlearn them. So that's a whole nother subject. So you will not be seeing knitting on here anytime soon. My daughter might join me occasionally. She's a cross stitcher. Her name is Shannon. She currently lives with me. Her and her two daughters, who are 7 and 11, they live with us right now for the next few months. And so she's not here today. I have the house to myself, except for my other daughter's two dogs are here. So if they start barking, I'm gonna apologize. I usually don't have them here, but I have them for the day. So we'll see how that goes, if they're able to behave and nothing causes them to start barking. But anyway, so mainly it'll be about cross stitch. If my daughter comes on, she does crochet and knit occasionally, so who knows, she might show something. So a little about me. I said I live in Phoenix, Arizona. I live here with my husband. I've lived here over half my life, and the first half of my life till I was about 30. So now do the math and you can figure out about how old I am. I lived in Texas, and so I've lived now in Phoenix, like I said, for 30 plus years, and consider this home. And my kids were born in Texas, but they've lived here since they were 3 and 5. And so that's kind of my two daughters that live here. My husband's daughter and her family live in Portland, and his son and his daughter live in Illinois. And we just went to Washington a couple of weeks ago and got to see them for the first time in 18 months because of this pandemic. So what brought me to stitching? I used to stitch when my kids were young, and then they're in their 30s now, so that was a long time ago. And it was the pandemic. I was like, oh, what can I do? I mean, there was really, to be honest, you get a little depressed. I travel for my job, or I used to, and I wasn't traveling. I'm doing everything via Zoom. No more traveling. I used to travel at least 2 weeks out of the month. And so that was hard on me, as it was on a lot of us. But hey, I will never complain, because via Zoom, I was able to keep my job. And so, see, I told you, I knew they would do that. So anyway, I'm not sure what they hear, but they think they hear some big burglar breaking into our house. So anyway, so sorry to get off track, and I don't think I'll be doing editing. So if it drives you crazy, I apologize, but I'm not gonna edit on this first one. I have to learn how to edit, and that's what's been keeping me from doing Flosstube. So I'm just gonna do Flosstube #1. I'm gonna put it out there, and then I'll practice on editing, and I'm sure I'm gonna get much better at it. I am not one of those people who says I'm too old to learn something new, and so there it is. So anyway, the pandemic hit. I'd been sitting here last September. I was like, what can I do? I just really had no purpose. I worked. I would come down, we would watch some TV, but I was just like kind of like not, we weren't going out a lot. We usually hike. It was just a lot of people. I didn't want to be around them. We took the pandemic seriously. The trails were crowded, and so it was kind of frustrating, and we just didn't do a lot. And I was sitting around, so I was like, I used to love cross stitch, but I'm not a big sampler person. So no, I hope I don't just lose a bunch of people, because so many of you stitch such beautiful samplers and I love them, but that's not really something that the decor of my home and something I wanted to do. And back in the day, I remember cross stitching a pillow for my mom with all the country geese. Remember that back a million years ago? And so I thought, well, let me just look and see what I can find. And I thought, well, I'll stitch some Christmas ornaments. So that kind of started the path again. I got some Christmas ornaments and actually made those and completed them. But in that, doing so, and also I think maybe looking for knitting stuff. I can't really remember how it happened, but I think the first Flosstuber I saw, and I had no idea this world existed, was X Stitch MD out of Canada, Shiloh. And I watched her and I was like, oh, that was just delightful. And then I think she mentioned Caroline Off the Grid, so I started watching her, and that was back when she was doing daily videos, and I was like, this is great. It's like having a friend every day, right? And then after that, I found Two Martini Stitcher, Erin, and that led to Michelle Bendy Stitchy, and I watched her, and now I've gone down that Flosstube path where there's so many people that I watch, and I've been thinking about doing a Flosstube for quite a while. I don't know really why I hesitated. First of all, I think all of us are like, well, why is someone going to watch us talking about something? And then I thought, you know what, I just want the connection. And then I think just about a week ago, Betsy Kluger, who, if you don't watch her, she's hilarious and I really like her. And she does a lot of samplers, but I love watching all her work, and just her philosophy in life and her humor has brought great joy. And she really encouraged people, if they were thinking about it, to go ahead and do it. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to take the plunge. I know I'll learn to edit, but this first one will probably be edit free. So anyway, rambling on, please ask questions in the comments and I will answer those, but I'm not going to do answer these questions because you may not care about that part. And I don't really have a favorite movie. When people ask me that, I'm like, I don't know. We haven't gone to movies in so long. I don't know when we'll ever go back to the movie. It feels so weird, right? Like I said, we live in Phoenix, so lots of people everywhere. We are both vaccinated, my husband and I, but the grandkids live here, and obviously they're too young to be vaccinated, so we try to be careful. We took them on vacation with us, the two kiddos, 3 days driving up and 3 days back, and we only ate in our room and didn't go in restaurants because I didn't want the kids exposed to that, and we wore masks everywhere. So we try to be very careful about that and keep the kids protected as much as they can. They did homeschooling this last year. They lived with us. They moved in February, but they're going to go back to school in the fall, and I think that's going to be good for them. It was kind of hard on all of us to have everybody on Zoom and learning school through the internet, just like everybody. All of you have these same stories. Some of you had it much harder, and so I'm not going to complain about that. So moving on about stitching, I was watching Flosstube, and then I went on Etsy, and then I started finding all these patterns, and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's anything you could want to stitch is out there, right? It's so amazing, all these designers that are so talented, and I'm so appreciative of everything. So I stitched Christmas ornaments. I stitched something for my husband for a Christmas present. It was a pine cone. I'll show that eventually on here someday. I've stitched a couple other little things. I did a housewarming gift for my daughter that lives here. My youngest daughter, who is the parent to the two dogs I have, lives about 1.5 miles away. She just moved there about a month ago, bought a house, and so I made her something, and I'll try to show that. I took a picture of it. So, but I also found the Heaven and Earth design. We camp a lot. We do a lot of outdoor stuff. As you'll see the pictures behind me, a lot of you have stitching, and I'll eventually probably find a place I can film with stitching stuff. But this picture right behind me is one of my favorite places in the world. It's Jenny Lake, the Grand Teton National Park. I love the Grand Tetons. We've done a lot of hiking. We live in the desert. We hike a lot here, but we love the mountains and the waters and the trees. So that's typically where we go for vacation. We're going to go to Durango for a couple of weeks in September. Just my husband and I, no kiddos this time, and I can work from anywhere as long as I have internet, and so I'll do some work there, and then also I'll take some vacation time. So if I continue doing these floss tubes, which I plan on doing them every couple of weeks, you'll see some of that scenery too. But I found Heaven and Earth Designs, and I started in December, and boy, can I say I've learned a lot on that, and thank God it's so many stitches so that you won't see the mistakes I made in the upper left-hand corner as I worked my way across. So this is this is the project I work on most evenings. So kind of to tell you about my stitching is I have my Heaven and Earth design on a stand. I'm going to try to flip this camera around and show you. I apologize if you get dizzy, but as you can see, there's my stand, and behind it is my chair. And if you can see down there, I don't know if you can see that. I apologize. I have a box down there, like a file box. And I have all my threads on Annie's Keepers. And I love Annie's Keepers. That has saved me so much time doing my Heaven and Earth. Every time it used to be I had them in baggies, and I didn't want to bobbinate everything, and I would pull it out because I had ordered the thread keepers, and then when they came, if I can just tell you, investigate Annie's thread keepers, and I find that the best way. So I have it all sitting in that box right beside me, and so that's what I stitch on pretty much every night is this Heaven and Earth design. Now, because I said in my life through work as Zoom, I have another box just like that that is up by my desk, and I do a lot of stitching during the day. So I stitch during meetings, I might take my lunch break and stitch, and so I do that. So anyway, I'm going to show you some of the things I'm stitching on. I'll show you a little bit of haul, and then that will be it. So the other thing I'm going to talk about is I live in Phoenix. It's dry, it's hot. I think the high today is 105. Our humidity's up a little bit, but we typically hover under 10%. So there is not a time in my life I don't have something cold to drink with ice next to me. I see a lot of floss tubers apologize that they have to take a drink. So I'm just gonna make a overreaching apology for all floss tubes in the future that I will take drinks of stuff. I will try to have a straw, and I'll try not to slurp, but I will take drinks of stuff because my throat gets dry, and I just have always had something to drink with me. It is an unusual time. If I don't have something to drink with me, I feel like I am missing something. So we'll get started. So my Heaven and Earth design that I found is because it kind of reminded me of this Jenny Lake, and I will tell you, having a campfire is one of my most favorite things in the whole world. So here is my Heaven and Earth design. So if you can see that, I can tell you doing that moon was not fun. I have a video from the middle of June that I might try to add to this, or I may just put it on my channel that shows it off the Q-snap. And the moon, that white on white, was awful. I have Easy Grad. It's 25 count Laguna. I think that's how you say it. It took me a while to do it, but that white on white, it took me a while to get that down, how to do that without struggling because I couldn't see. And the other annoying thing was that with the Easy Grid is I have 1/1 on the 25 count. You can see the grid through the white, so it just looks tacky. So 5 years from now, when I get to wash it, it'll all look so much better. But I'm really enjoying doing that, and I just love seeing like the trees pop up. It is they call it, I think, Quick Story or Quick Start. I'm not sure what the QS stands for. Lakeside is the name of it. The artwork is by Donna Gelsinger, and the finished design is 400 by 660. And so that's about 264,000 stitches. I've done about 13%. I've done about 35,000 stitches, and that's since December 15th. I typically do 5,000 to 6,000 a month, until this last month where we were gone for a large portion of the month for like 10 days. And so I can see with my traveling and life returning a little bit more to normal that I probably won't get as much done in some months because I don't ever take this with me. It's too big of a project to take. So it will always be my project that stays on the frame and is at home. But I do love it. It has, I think there's like 90 colors in it, and I just love it. And if you can find me, my favorite time would be if I lived near water and a lake and could have a campfire every night, I would be in heaven. We live in Arizona, so even when we go camping, we can't have campfires a lot of times because, you know, the West is burning down with wildfires. We have a little propane fire ring that we take that's portable. And so that has become my joy, because at least we can have a campfire, because who wants to camp without a campfire, right? I know a lot of you are like, I don't even want to camp, but I do like camping. We have a lot of good equipment. We're comfortable, but the best part of it is just being out and under the trees and having a campfire. And if there's water too, well, I really love it. So anyway, that picture behind me is one I took on vacation, and that's kind of, you can see maybe the other one, that's part of the trees on one of our hikes. And so we have a lot of those pictures around too. So anyway, moving on, I'm going to show you some of my whips in progress. So I keep this little file box next to my desk, and I am, I think they call it one of the acronyms is a SWE, so SWE, I think is what it is. Stitch what you want when you want. And that is what I do. I am old enough now that I just do what I want when I want it. Obviously, except for work, I do what they want me to do when they want me to do it. But otherwise, I am going to do what I want to do when I want to do it. And that's how I kind of do my cross stitch. I'm surprised I haven't gotten into Whip Go, which is kind of like a bingo for you to put your projects on. And I may get into that next year. I don't know. I'm kind of competitive, so I might do that just to motivate myself to move on some. But anyway, I'm going to just show you what I've been working on. I started this about a month ago, probably. Jan Hicks, I happened to watch one of her videos and saw it and went and purchased it right away. So I didn't take it off the hoop. I use a lot of the hoops that I found through X-Stitch MD. She has a link in her video, but it's the rubberized ones. They're so easy to take on and off and get going. So there was a willow tree in this, and I love willow trees. So I'm stitching on that right now. And this is on 32 count. It is 32 count vintage blue Whisper Belfast linen. And I got it at 1, 2, 3 stitch. And so that's the linen. And I got these I get needle minders. I've gotten them from Abby Top Knot, a bunch of them. I got this one from Miss Dottie's on Etsy's, and I have to tell you, she makes really good ones, and they're really strong. And so the back of them has a strong magnet. You can see this. It says Miss Dottie's. And I have a few of hers, and I really like them. And I've also gotten some of my thread holders from her. I got this one. Here's all the colors. Aren't they so pretty? I did all the called for DMC. And see here, I got this from Miss Dottie's. So I don't know if you can see that. So anyway, I really have gotten a lot of my thread holders for my projects that I cart around. I usually use just a ring for those, and so I've done that. Now this weekend, which I'm surprised to have time to do this, I've been to Black Needle Society's their night garden retreat has been going on this weekend. So I've done the room a couple of times, and I'm probably going to try and get on this afternoon for the last stitching challenge. But that's been a lot of fun, and I got this. And so if you have not signed up for their boxes, I really recommend getting on their waiting list, because they're amazing. And this was a retreat box, but they do have subscription boxes every other month, and then they have retreats. So they had Frogworks last weekend. This weekend is the night garden. So this bag came with it, which is so nice. And then I started on this pattern, and I found that my eyes, I had not worked on 36 count before, and my eyes are not liking the dark fabric and the dark thread. So I've ordered a special light that one that my daughter has that can be around your neck and to point the light right at it. I think that'll help me. And of course, the only time Amazon has it delivered in a day, my order got lost. And so I haven't gotten to work on this, but I did start it. I don't know if you can even see that. It's just a few stitches. That's the needle minder that came in it. That's the linen. And here are the patterns. Katie from the Black Needle Society did these. So here's that one you just saw. And then they also included a little snail pattern. So aren't those so cute? Guys, I really recommend signing up for their stuff if you haven't. And here's one of Miss Dottie's thread holders that I put on there. And here's all that pattern colors that came with the kit. So it has some color and cottons, I think. So these are just the ones that came with them. And don't they look pretty up against this? See, sorry, I'm gonna have to learn how to do this better. So anyway, so I got a few stitches on that and have not been able to really do that. That's one thing I'm working on. And then another thing I've been working on, and I forgot to bring the book down, so I'll show it next time. It's got all the patterns, a lot of outdoors stuff. And this one's, I call it Between the Pines. And I'm sorry, I will get that next time I bring the book down. And a couple of people have done it. I've seen it on people's, but this is Between the Pines. So this is on a 14 count Aida, which my go-to, I think, is 32 count even weave, like Lugana, but this was what they had. This was recommended. And it is negative. The negative space is what shows the trees up. So I needed to be the stark green, and this is what I found. And I got it at 1, 2, 3 stitch. I usually find they send things to me pretty quickly. Anyway, I just DMC. That's what I'm using. And here's the threads that go with that. But you can kind of see because I've already used most of them. So as you can see, there's another one of the hoops that I use. I use these magnetic cable ties. I love these. And then as you can see, not very fancy hair clip. It seems to help too. So anyway, I'll show a picture of that next time. I thought I had it down here, but I don't see it. I'm not going to run away to go get that. I've tried to bring out a couple for Christmas in July, things that I'm stitching on. And so this is hands-on design, and it's Let's Talk Winter, I think. They have one for each season. Here's the chart. This is on Aida chalkboard. I did everything called for. This is back when I was still bobbinating, so I was working on this last year because I didn't get the Indies Keepers till January, I think. Here's another one of Miss Dottie's thread holders. So here's not that many threads for it. And I've done about at least, I want to say I'm at least halfway done. This is where it is on the Q-snap. So I've messed up a couple of places, but I'm not going to say messed up. I made my own personalizations in a couple of places. I don't think you can see it, and so be it. I am far from perfection, and I can fudge it. And if I make a mistake and I think it is going to be okay and not mess up the whole pattern, it's going to stay that way. Because do any of us love to frog? Not me. So I try to do my best not to have to frog anything. So if it's a mistake I can live with, I live with it. And I can live with a lot of mistakes. Next, I haven't worked on this in a while, but I haven't put it away. So I just went through this box. I keep about 5 to 6 whips in here, and then I just reach in and get what I want. And I just went through it and pulled some out and put them into my other place that I store things. I kind of need to get more organized. Is that the story for most of you? I need to get more organized on all my stuff because I have a lot of things just placed here and there and don't know where everything is. But that way when I'm stitching at my desk in Zoom meetings or during lunch or whatever, I can just reach down and pull out the main ones I'm working on, except for my Heaven and Earth, which stays downstairs. So this is Barbara Anna's, what was it called? Barbara Anna Designs Dreaming Girl. This was I did it when it was a sal, so I did not get it all done, obviously. Here's where I'm at. I got her all done. I'm working on the top part, and then there's the whole bottom part. And I just got other stuff came in, and I did frogworts through the Black Needle Society, and I don't know why it's not here. I'll have to show that next time. I finished Frogworts Year 1 about a month ago, maybe 2 weeks before the retreat, and then I was working on that one for the retreat. So I've kind of put those away because I did it a lot, and now I just kind of wanted a break from that. My other Christmas in July that I can't believe I haven't finished, so I hope I will, is through Caroline Off the Grid Evertote. This is Christmas Mitten. I was on there the other day looking at some Leo and Roxy threads in her July bag of the month, and I saw that she still has this pattern. So this is Christmas Mittens, and I think through Pattern Keeper, I'm like 75% done, so I need to just get focused on this, so I hope I work on it this week. By the way, I have some really pretty project bags. I've got a couple from Evertote. For some reason that one's still upstairs and I'll have to bring that down, but I love these bags, and again, I got these recommendation. I see a lot of you use them, but from Amazon, and the link I found from X-Stitch M&D, she uses them too. Okay, this is one of the patterns I started a long time ago, and I'm not sure if I'll finish it, and I don't remember. I got it off Etsy, someone from Lithuania, but I don't think I have the name of it. Let's see. I know it's for personal use, not to be resold. I'm not going to show you the pattern. I may have just shown a tiny glimpse of it, but you could not have done it. So this is called the Grand Teton National Park. And so I may finish it because, as you can see behind me, that's the Grand Teton National Park, my favorite place to go. And so that's kind of what prompted me. And this is one of the first ones I bought last year and got going. But then I found so many other wonderful patterns that I didn't get it. And so that one's that. So I think that's most of the stuff that I'm currently stitching on. The two I'm really working on the most are the Meditation Garden by Jan Hicks and that Between Two Pines. I was wrong. I do have at least I have Frogworts Year 1 and oh no, Year 2. So like I said, I put it up. I was working on it. Oops, these magnets are still in here. I need to take those out. My needle minder. I'm not sure where I got this needle minder from. I should look that up. It's my Nancy Drew one. Can you see that? It's just a little wooden one. I loved Nancy Drew when I was a kid, right? So I'm not sure why this got stuck here. There we go. But Frogworts Year 2. Here's kind of where I'm at. I got that much done. And then I've put that away for a while. So you won't see that again probably till, who knows, next year when it's time for Frogworts, right? Okay. I think that's it. Now I do want to show you some haul that I got this week. I ordered some stuff from 123 Stitch to start a new thing. But I got this from Michelle, from Bendy Stitchy, and Twisted Rabbit, Angela from Twisted Rabbit. So Michelle had offered it for her members, YouTube members, and also her Patreon members, I think. And so I happened to be on my email when she said it, and I grabbed it. There was only like 35 of them or so. They are putting them out till Monday, but I'm not sure when I'm going to get this up, so it may be too late. But if I do get it up today on Sunday when I'm filming it, because today is, I don't even know what today is. Don't you love weekends where you don't know the date? It is Sunday, July 18th. So I'm not sure if I'll get this up today or tomorrow. Who knows when I'll get it up. But if I do get it up today, then hopefully maybe one or two of you will see it, because who's going to know about my YouTube, right? So anyway, this came out. This is a pattern that Michelle from Bendy Stitchy created, and it is so cute. And so it says, the world is odd and sometimes wonderful. And there's a story behind it, you know, how she came up with the saying, but it is true. I elected to have almond M&M's silks. Never used them before, so I'm excited to use that. These are amazing. I don't know how she writes so tiny, Ymir, but it's Berry Plus. And I do find that the lighting in here is making things show up lighter than they really are, a little brighter. This is called Flamingo. So I would tell you in real life, it's really the pretty color of a flamingo, not this. It seems like it's showing up more Pepto-Bismol on the screen, and it is not. So I will work on lighting for next time. This is Wine. Again, it's actually a little darker. This one is called Powder Blue. It's a really beautiful blue. And then that came with it, Raven. Nice black, dark color. And then we have Emerald City. And again, it's a more deep color. It's not quite so bright. They're beautiful. And so in the book, this is the pattern goes on a journal that I'll show in a minute, but included in this box were so many little things. I'm not going to show every little thing because there were things that you could add to your journal, but it's to make a stitchy journal. So you can put any of your smalls that you're stitching in there, like the one that she created for the cover. And here came this thread holder. So I usually use my Annie's Keeper, but I may actually put, this is so cute, I may actually put the almond M&M silks on here, because it's just so cute. And then it included some of the yarn or the lace to finish this, and it's on this little top hat, and then also one that says Bendy Stitchy, and they're wooden. Whoops, sorry, one showing. Isn't that so cute? And here's the other one. Oh, and I missed one of the silks. This one's called Ice Queen, a nice kind of off-white. Then it came with this cutest little needle book. So it has a little key on it. I think you can see that. And then inside, they actually included the needle that you can use for stitching this. Isn't that so pretty? And then here is the actual journal. So isn't that, see, it has this ties, these beautiful purple ribbons, and then it has, see, it's kind of coffee stained, and some of it has randomly placed dictionary pages. It has graph paper. It just has all kinds of neat things in it. It's really, I really recommend it. And then it also included a lot of little things you could include in your journal. And then here's the linen. It's Fiberlicious Cafe Mist. I chose for 36 count linen, plain. And that's pretty true. It's a little bit more muted than what's showing up there. Whoops, sorry about that. Bumped the camera. So that was kind of my haul. I have, like I said, I'm going to show you that book that Between the Two Pines comes from. And I have another pattern that I'm starting that's going to be a gift for somebody. It's kind of a sampler of all outdoor kind of stuff. I'll show you that next video. So that's really, I'm just going to wrap it up. So a couple of things I want to say. I have so enjoyed connecting with people through Flosstube and this cross stitch community. There's so many wonderful people out there, and I hope to have giveaways. Once I get up and running and actually have some subscribers, then I will be sure to start giveaways. I look forward to that because I want to be able to give back and give back to this cross stitch community that's been so wonderful and has saved my sanity at times during this long pandemic. And even though we're getting back into the busy world, my work, I'm going to go next month for travel for a couple of weeks, but then I won't really be traveling again until next year for my work. And so staying at home and not getting out and not seeing as people as much as I did, thank God for Flosstube. Thank God for cross stitch and being able to be creative and meet so many wonderful people. I'm a member of Two Martini Stitcher, and Michelle Bendy, so that I've participated in some of their chats and Zoom meetings and Zoom meetups for the members, and those have been wonderful. I've met some wonderful people through that. People that I would have never met ever. And so, again, I can't say how thankful I am for this community, and that's the reason for this floss tube. In no way do I think I'm the greatest stitcher. I just want to share with you, and I hope I hope people start seeing it. I hope I get some comments, some subscribers, so that I can give back through giveaways, and also just share my love of stitching. And again, since it's stitches and orts through the desert, I'm sure that I will have some odd random thoughts that I throw out through the whole time. And I hope that you'll be able to put up with those too, because I can be opinionated, but I will try and keep it not too crazy out there. Thank you for staying to the end. Thank you for watching. I will learn how to edit and be able to add things and cut out the parts where I say too much, because I bet I did. And I thank you for this, and I wish you a wonderful day and a wonderful week, and until next time, happy stitching. See you then.